So far, the Biden foreign policy has been one of surrender and retreat on national security and foreign policy issues. It's not a coincidence that Russia and China have stepped up and have done, for instance, joint exercises off the coast of Japan for the first time ever back in October. These things are starting because they see an opportunity here with the current administration.
So that is John Ratcliffe, former DNI under the Trump team, slamming the Biden foreign policy. He says the White House is enabling America's enemies and that the worst is yet to come. We're going to bring in General Jack Keane on this. He was talking about China and Russia and the Taliban and others. How do you assess that right now at year's end, General?
Well, we've been looking at this now for almost a year, and I think it's quite indisputable that Russia, China, and Iran have all increased their aggression under the Biden administration by comparison to the previous administration. So you've got China having its most aggressive intimidation of Taiwan that we've seen in many, many decades. You've got Iran trying to kill the Iraqi prime minister, attacking a U.S. base in southern Syria that we fortunately moved our troops out and avoided any casualties there. But it certainly emphasizes their aggression and the fact that they appear to be absolutely in pursuit of a nuclear weapon, regardless of the negotiating attempts in Vienna to the contrary. And then you have Russia. And Russia has made 2 military demonstrations on the border of Ukraine, one in the spring, another one now much larger. I think the accelerant for that was Afghanistan, because they believe the United States has seriously weakened its position globally. So, yeah, there is an absolute pattern here, Bill. I don't think it's synchronized. I think these are 3 countries operating within their own self-interest in their regions to accomplish their goals at the expense of the United States and our allies.
Interesting. Kept a lid on it for a while. We'll see how they act very soon or not. Now, this story from the Wall Street Journal and others about military equipment that had been potentially shipped to Afghanistan, talking about helicopters and other military equipment, may be diverted to Ukraine in the event Putin were to think about going in or indeed does. General, do you have information to suggest that this story is true? And if so, what would you make of it?
Well, I have no special information on it, but a couple things. One, we already know that we've left far too much equipment behind in Afghanistan, so anything that we can use in Ukraine, certainly that's well intended. And listen, the lethal aid program to Ukraine is really one of the issues that Putin has on the table. He wants that to stop. And the fact that the United States is strengthening the Ukraine military and has been doing this, it started under the Trump administration. The Biden administration has continued it. I don't think they've given the Ukrainians all the tools that they're asking for, and I wish we could actually increase the amount of lethal aid, but they have kept it going. And that is very good. Also, we provide them some training assistance. What's happening here, Bill? I mean, we've seen this hand before. Putin is here, and he's pushing to get concessions out of the United States and the Europeans. And he sees this as huge opportunity, and he's just going to push as hard as he can to get as much as he can.
Okay,
that's what's taking place.
General, do you see a difference in how the Biden administration is reacting now to Putin in Ukraine, as opposed to what happened under President Obama and Vice President Biden then in 2014? Are they being more aggressive?
No, they're clearly being more conciliatory. I mean, the Nord Stream 2 deal, pulling out of that, was a clear indication. That was a huge strategic win, you know, for the Russians and Putin, and we've talked about it here many times. They went back into the START treaty without laying down any conditions because the treaty needed to be improved. We never responded in any consequential way. Remember these massive ransomware attacks that have taken place? So we've been playing a relatively weak hand with Mr. Putin, and he obviously punches above his weight. There's no doubt about that. And what you got to do is, the only thing he truly understands is strength, and we have not been displaying that.
Wow, General, thank you, sir. We'll talk later in the week, okay? Jack Keane on that and more coming up soon. Thank you for your time today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.